I've reviewed a handful of gaming headsets on this channel, and while some were really good, others left a lot to be desired. And when it comes to a good gaming headset for me, it isn't just about crystal clear audio, it's also about the details that it delivers and the bass and the essentially immersion and comfort that go into that headset, as well as the ability to have some level of controls built in to that headset. And recently, a company called NUBWO reached out and asked if I wanted to check out their HG0L4 headset and basically give my thoughts and review on it. And in a lot of ways going into this, I was actually pretty excited because, well, I predominantly use my Xbox wireless headset for Xbox. My Switch 2 and other devices that I'm bringing on the go, I don't really have a dedicated headset for, so I was looking for something that could fill that void. So a lot of ways, this came at the perfect time, and in this video, I'm going to go over whether this headset delivers a lot of the things that I said earlier in this video make a great headset, and if this is worth investing the $30 or so that this cost to buy off a place like Amazon. So let's take a look. So to start, the packaging is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to say there's anything to write home about here. However, unpackaging it, you really just get the headset and a manual kind of breaking down what some of the buttons and functions on the headset are. Now, one thing I want to highlight that I kind of noticed immediately out of the box was this headset had a nice weight to it. It felt, in my opinion, premium. It felt like there was some care put into designing this headset, and I'm comparing this to other common headsets that I've used on consoles like my Xbox, like the Turtle Beach Recon, and in comparison, this headset, in my opinion, feels a little weightier and just a lot more premium overall. Now, the design itself, I thought looked interesting. I was a little thrown off by what left and right was. They do highlight that on the actual headset, but the design looked almost like it was designed to be used either way. I wasn't entirely sure at first, but once I followed the indicators, it made sense. And a couple things you'll notice about it is this has a nice like mesh style wire, which I am a fan of. It adds to the premium feel of this actual headset. You also have a volume dial on this headset, and you also have a click-in button to mute your microphone, which I also thought was a nice little touch. It's not like a tactile button or something. It actually clicks in mechanically, which I thought felt good. One thing I do want to highlight though that, in my opinion, I wish headsets like this would come stock with is a detachable wire. I know that for a lot of people, they probably keep these at their desk, so the risk of it getting broken aren't really there, but I'm a guy who's going to be using this typically when I'm on the road or going somewhere, so for me, there's always that potential that it might get caught in something and fray, but that's just a small nitpicky thing. Now, the main thing that I want to also highlight, kind of moving beyond that, is the actual comfort of the headset itself. So you have almost like a faux soft plush leather that's used on the top part of the headset as well as the side pieces of the ear that I actually thought felt very good. And they didn't feel cheap like I felt with some other headsets, and so far in my testing, I've used this thing for probably about 6 hours. So far in my testing, I haven't noticed anything weird as a result of me sweating on it. It's not like the headphone foam itself or the faux leather has started to kind of like dry up or anything and kind of become firmer, which seems to be a problem with some of these cheaper things. Might happen down the road, but currently it has not. But as it stands, the comfort of wearing this headset, especially for extended play sessions, feels pretty good. I was playing through Donkey Kong Bonanza throughout my review process of this, and I honestly started to kind of not notice it was even there, so that's a good sign for this type of headset. Now, really the main thing that most of you are going to want to be considering is, can a $30 headset deliver good quality sound? And the short answer for this device is yes. One of the things that I disliked about some of the cheaper headsets I've tested on consoles like my Xbox is oftentimes while you might have a clear audio sound coming through, and you might even get some level of detail, it seemed like one of the trade-offs was that you lost large amounts of bass, or bass entirely in some cases. And this headset seemed to deliver on all fronts in terms of clarity, in terms of the actual levels of bass. Playing a game like Call of Duty, I felt like there was a nice punch when you were shooting your weapons. It didn't feel dulled out like I felt like with some of the Turtle Beach products. It felt like a good quality headset that way. It felt like it packed a punch when it needed to, and it never felt like it started to dither when it got at higher volumes or higher frequencies, which is one of the telltale signs that there's some level of quality behind this headset. Now, with that being said, this is stereo through and through. It's a wired headset. Goes through your controller port if you're going to use it sitting, or goes through the top port of your Nintendo Switch if you're going to use it that way. So you're really only going to get delivered stereo sound, so you're not going to get some of the bells and whistles of higher end devices or higher end devices with proper receivers. But if you want a good standard gaming headset at an incredibly affordable price, I would say that this headset is quite good. And I tested other things like the microphone, which I don't spend as much time testing. It sounded relatively clear. I used it for a couple audio messages on Xbox, and I would say it was completely on par with my Xbox wireless headset or the Turtle Beach Recon headset. So overall, as a total package, I thought this headset was quite good, and it's something that I'm going to be using beyond this review. In previous ones, I've been given some of these free pieces of tech to review, and sometimes I give them away after the fact because I don't seriously use them, but this is a device that I am going to be using beyond just this review, as I do see a lot of value in it. I like the design, I like the feel to it. Not a major fan of the lack of replaceable wire, but for a headset that I'm going to be using in travel or using while I'm on the road, I think this thing sounds great and has a lot of value, especially at the $30 price tag. And in some cases, NUBWO even offers flash sales where they put it on sale for like $9. So overall, I think this is a great option if you want an affordable gaming headset.